the distance, I will always be there. No more. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. How are you? I hope doing okay. Let's see what I'm up to today. We're going to be casting in this mold right here. It's rather large, and it's a beautiful heart-shaped mold. And then I thought we would make some beautiful little feet for our heart. You know, to make it kind of like a candle holder or a plant stand. So yeah, that's where we're going to go with this. So I mixed up 6 ounces of the Bond Crafter epoxy resin, and I'm going to put some of my Casting Craft opaque pigment into the resin. And I'm going to put a little bit of glitter in there too. And I'm going to try to make this look like, you know, the velvet technique. That's what I'm going to try. Now, I'm going to try this a different way. I was on Pinterest and I seen this lady do the velvet technique, but she done it totally different. And I thought, well, how in the world did that turn out like that? So I don't know. I'm going to do what she did and we'll see if it turns out or not. I'm going to put up here the name that I seen it, the name that it was under on Pinterest. I'm going to start by spritzing my mold with a little bit of alcohol, and then we'll go ahead and pour our resin in. And I'm pouring this a rather shallow because that looks like what she done in the little clip that I watched. Now I'm going to take, this is kind of like saran wrap. It's a little bit tougher, but I'm going to run my heat gun through the resin right quick and pop any surface bubbles before we lay the Glad wrap down. And then I spritz a little bit of alcohol, and that's to help with the bubbles. And I seen something in there, so I just picked it out right quick. Now I'm going to go in with this Glad wrap, and I'm just going to crinkle it up a little bit. And I pull it up a few times to let some of the bubbles out, because some of them I could see them trapped in there. So I would walk them to the edge and then lift the Glad wrap up and they would pop. But I didn't see too many in there, so that was a good thing. Okay, and we're going to let this cure. Now, I thought we would do our little feet in this pretty holographic silver here. And I get this from my local Joann's fabric store. Let's go ahead and throw in some glue to keep our glitter dispersed throughout the mold. And I just put a little tiny drop of the glue inside the resin. Now I'm going to stir it up, spritz a little alcohol in my molds. And I only have 2 of these molds. I wish I had 3, but I don't. I only have 2. I guess I should be thankful that I have 2. So I'm going to have to cast one more time in one of these molds after we demold them. And that'll give us 3 little feet for our tray. Now I'm going to fill one of the molds up. And I'm going to fill the other one up. I'm going to put a little bit more glue in here because I didn't mix those together. I mixed them separate. But we don't even end up using these feet, you guys. I didn't like them. So we end up making some more feet, but that'll be further in the video. I sped this up because we're not even going to be using these. I just left it in the video so you could see what I done, because I will demold these with you and show you how they turned out. Now we had extra resin left over. So here's the mold that all of you chose to put my extra resin into for a giveaway. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the extra resin into it. And it's almost filled, you guys. We still have the top part of it to feel after this, because it has two pieces to it. Now I'm just running the heat gun over everything, popping any surface bubbles. Now we're back. This has cured. So now the fun part, we get to see if we can get this Glad wrap out of here. I don't usually have problems pulling it out, but you never know. Every now and again, one of them will give you some issues. Okay, I'm going to grab my heat gun here in a minute because it'll get me started. I'm not going to run much heat on it because we'll burn the Glad wrap. Okay, that got me started. So let's go ahead and see if we can get it out of here. Now, what would make sense moving forward would be to pour your clear resin over this, and then you have your velvet technique look. But she didn't do that. She put a color behind hers. So that's what we're going to do. As soon as I get this out of here. It's coming out pretty easy. Okay, and as you've seen me holding the resin down with my other hand because we don't want to be lifting that out of the mold. Now I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to run it around the edges to get off the excess red color that's in there because we don't want it in our next pour. Not little droplets of it on the side of the mold anyway. Now I'm going to use this iridescent iris. I get this from Michael's, and it's a mica powder. I put a little bit down in my cup. I'm going to get it stirred up real good, and then I'm going to drop it in the cup that's got all of my epoxy resin in it. And I mixed up 6 ounces of the Bond Crafter epoxy resin. And now we're going to go ahead and get the iridescent iris stirred up in the resin really good, making sure we scrape the sides of the cup and the bottom of the cup really well. Oh, goodness, I can't talk. Did y'all miss me yesterday? I missed y'all. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was trying to study some of that editing stuff, and all I could think about was how much I wanted to be in my craft room crafting. Yeah, I didn't want to do it, but hopefully it'll get a little bit easier. Now I'm going to spritz some alcohol down into my mold. And there I was contemplating on whether I should do this or not. I thought maybe I should just put the clear resin over the top of it and call it a day. But I'm going to go ahead and do what I seen in the video. And I'm pouring the resin slow so I don't incorporate any more bubbles into it. And when I get it poured into the mold, I didn't mix up enough. But the way that it leaves it, it looks kind of cool. Let me see if you guys think the same thing that I thought. Doesn't that look cool the way that it is right now? I think it looks pretty awesome. Oh, maybe I did mix up enough resin. There's a pretty good bit left in that cup. I don't think I did, though. I think I was a little bit shy of having enough for the tray. Now I'm going to use my heat gun and run it around there, pop any surface bubbles before we continue to pour, because I'm concerned about the edges, bubbles getting stuck in the edges. And I'm showing you the tool that I'm using. It's not a sharp object. It's rounded at the tip so I don't scratch my mold. And I'm just going around the edges, making sure there's no bubbles trapped around the edges. Because once I pour that resin over it, I won't be able to see it. So while I have it real shallow, and I can really tell if there's a bubble there, that's why I'm going ahead and checking it now. I sped this part up a little bit. I'm really not moving that fast. Now I'm going to grab my heat gun and I'm going to run it through there again, pop any surface bubbles before we move forward. Spritz a little bit of alcohol. And now let's continue to pour. Yeah, see, I don't have quite enough. You can still see the red ripples. So I'm going to have to mix up a little bit more. I was pretty sure I ended up being a little bit short. I'm going to use the heat gun on it one more time. Spritz a little bit of alcohol. And we'll let that sit there while we're mixing some more resin. And I'm going to show y'all these right quick, how they turned out. Let's go ahead and demold them. And I'm going to use some silicone oil and drop a few drops down into my mold so that it'll be easier to get out. And it'll also condition my mold as well for next time I use it. That's the best thing to condition your molds is silicone oil. It will really, really be the life of your molds. If you will put silicone oil in there, massage it into your molds, it will really, really give you a lot more life out of your molds. Okay, we got one more to go. And there they are. They turned out super cute, but like I said, I didn't like them for this piece right here. So I'm going to save them and use them in a future project maybe. Okay, our resin's finished. I went ahead and put the iridescent iris in it, mixed it up, and now we're pouring. I'm going to use my heat gun, pop any surface bubbles. Then I'm going to run my tool through it. Give it kind of a little wispy look. Although it probably won't stay that way. We'll give it a try though. There was something in there. I was trying to pick it out. Now I'm going to use my heat gun again. Spritz some more alcohol. And then we have some more leftover resin. So let's go ahead and pour it in our mold for our giveaway. Okay, now we're going to start making our new feet for our heart. I want to put these pretty roses down into the mold and just put some clear epoxy with a little bit of glitter. And I think that's going to look beautiful on the bottom of our heart. What do you guys think? Do you like this idea better than the silver ones? I think it's going to turn out really pretty. I'm going to soak them in some resin, introduce them to that resin and let them sit in there and soak. So hopefully we won't get any bubbles trapped in there. But if we do, that's okay. It will look realistic because flowers, you know, they have water on them when they get watered. So it's not a big deal if we do get a bubble. I'll be fine with that. Okay, now I'm going to pull them out and put them face down into my mold. And then let's go ahead and pour. I'm not going to fill them up because these flowers are going to float. So we can only pour, so much in there. So I'm not going to fill them up. I'll wait probably about 4 hours, and then I'll come back and go ahead and top the molds off. Okay, we had a little bit of resin left over, and it's clear resin. So I thought we would add some of the uh, unicorn art crushed crystal and give it a little bit of sparkle. I'm going to stir it up a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and pour it into the giveaway mold. And I think we might have one more pour in this, you guys, and it's going to be ready to demold. And I think it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. But I think it's going to turn out really pretty. I do. You never know what these things are going to come out looking like because, it's your extra resin that you're using in them. So sometimes they look really cool, and other times it's like, so-so. Now I'm going to grab my heat gun, and I'm going to run it over there and pop any of the surface bubbles. Now, I had to grab these little bird molds that I had. Well, one's a pig mold and one's a bird mold because the flowers that we put in there kept coming out of the resin. So I stuck them on top of there to keep them down in there. Now we're back. I pulled those out of there, and it's ready to go ahead and top these little molds off. And I have one more left to make. So I'll do 2 with you, and then I'll do the 1 by myself. Now I'm going to use the heat gun and pop any of the surface bubbles. Spritz a little alcohol on them. Okay, now we're back, and it's time to demold these. Let's see what we got. I'm super excited to get these out and see what they look like. I'm going to grab a little bit of tape and run it across the sides of here so I don't pull that cured resin off with my little piece here. See how much I got off of there? Pretty good bit. Now I'm going to grab that silicone oil, and I'm going to go ahead and drop a few drops down into my mold here so that it's really easy to slide this casting out. And if anyone's interested, I get my silicone pouring oil off of Amazon, and I buy the Pouring Masters brand. And it's really good. I love it. And it's also on the cheaper side. It's not on the expensive side. Okay, now I'm just going to run it in between my hands here and get that oil, really, really good around in the mold and around the casting before we go ahead and demold it. Now it should pop right out if I can get my finger inside the edge here because it's super slippery. Whoop, there it went. Okay, let's take a look at it. Oh, it's so pretty. I like that. I'm so happy I decided to change the feet for our heart. I like this a lot better. It turned out really good. Now let's see what this one looks like. I think I had a little bit of trouble trying to get my finger in this one. It's so slippery. we go, finally. And there it is. It turned out really pretty too. You can see that glitter sparkling inside of there. And I did run this resin through my Resiner's Airless Pro bubble machine. So those turned out really pretty. So which one do you guys prefer? The silver or the rose? And I got to make one more because we're going to need 3. And then they'll go on here like this. But we'll have, you know, another one for down there. Kind of like that. So I think it's going to turn out really cute. Okay, I have one more to make. So I thought I'd go ahead and make 2. And I got these at my local Dollar Tree, and I thought we would borrow, not really borrow because they're not coming back, but I thought we would take the leaves off of this little bunch right here and cut one of them and put it behind the rose, kind of like the leaves for the rose. I don't know how this will look. I've never done this before, but I thought we would see what it looks like. We're not going to be using the one with the green leaf behind it because we didn't do all of them like that. But, you know, I thought we'd go ahead and put it in there and see what it looks like together. Okay, now we're back. I have all of my feet done. Here's all 3. And then the one over there to the side, I'll pick it up and show you in a minute. That's got the green leaves behind it. Here we go. And it turned out pretty cute. It needs to be sanded on the bottom, but I think it's cute. What do you guys think? You think the leaves look cute on it? Okay, y'all ready to demold this and see if we got the velvet technique on the other side? I'm just going to walk around the mold and try to release the casting from the mold before we take it out. And I was begging that this turns out. All right, here we go, you guys. I'm so nervous. I think I nicked my mold. The edge right there was really, really sharp. Pooey. That stinks. Oh no, look at that. What is that? It sure ain't no velvet technique. I don't know what that is, y'all. Good Lord. I knew I should have stuck with the way I was going to do it. You can kind of see where it tried. Maybe I put too much resin in there. I think that's what I did. I think I put too much in there with the first pour. Yep. I believe that's what I did. But the feet are going to go, you know, on the back here. I'm going to go ahead and just place them down, face down, and let's take a look at it and see what it's going to look like. And here it is from the side. It's so pretty. Even though it didn't turn out, I think it still looks pretty. I'm, you know, really bummed about it, but oh well. I thought we would put some gnomes on the top of it. These are iron-on transfers, so I'm going to trim off part of the iron-on so that it doesn't come off onto my piece and then I have to deal with it on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim it so I don't transfer it onto my piece. Okay, now I've got it all trimmed out. Here it is. These gnomes are super cute. They're Valentine's Day gnomes. Now let's see how we want to place it on here. I think I like it over here somewhere. And I have my little Cricut iron over there to the left of me, and it's heating up. It's one of the little mini ones, and that's what I use to put my heat transfers on my resin pieces, on my resin castings, and it works wonderful. Okay, do you guys think that's cute? And you can even put it to the side too, which you wouldn't be doing that because this is going to have feet on it. But that'd be a cute, what do you call those things? Bookends. If there were two of them, it'd be a cute bookend. Now I'm just taking that little Cricut iron and running it over the transfer. I don't leave it in one area for too long. Just kind of keep it moving. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. Weather's warming up a little bit here. It was 50 degrees today. Okay, now we're going to let it cool off and then we'll check it. Now I'm going to take my little Cricut tool here and I'm going to lift it slightly, and I'll walk around the edges and make sure that none of it's lifting. Okay, we got a piece lifting over here, so I need to stop, get my little iron, and run back over that area. Because if it's lifting, then when you put your top coat of resin on, that's going to lift up out of your resin. So we need to make sure that none of this is lifting. All of it has to be ironed down completely. Okay, everything's looking good. I think we have it, you guys. Yes, everything is down really good. So it's ready for its top coat. We won't do the top coat together. I'll be doing that. But here it is. What do you guys think? I think it turned out super cute. I still have to do the top coat, and I'm going to dome the back of it as well to kind of, make sure the little roses don't come off on the back. Even though I'm going to be gluing them, I'm going to use my Gorilla Glue and glue the feet on back here. Let's go ahead and grab the Gorilla Glue. And I'm just going to put a little dab on each one and then glue it there. And that'll hold it in place until I get ready to do my top coat. See, they're on there now and they're dried. Well, let me know what you guys think about this. Well, it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye, and I will see you on Friday. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.